Hello. Thank you for your interest in this parent training created by the Mystic Valley Public Health Coalition. You can pause the training at any time. This training series is designed to help parents develop a better understanding of effective communication with their children at every age, setting limits, boundaries, and expectations for behavior, how to intervene early on risky behaviors, and how to nurture protections and healthy decisions. This training will touch on developmentally appropriate prevention strategies and tips for parents to begin the conversations about substance use and your expectations and boundaries before it might be a problem. Protecting your child from future alcohol or drug abuse may be the last thing on your mind now, but we know that children start to learn about alcohol and drugs from an extremely young age. They learn things like basic knowledge about alcohol and drugs, adult attitudes about substances, your expectations, and even intentions to use them. When children are between the ages of 3 to 6, parents have unique opportunities to strengthen protective factors, mainly by doing what they're likely doing well already. Know that the steps you take now are the very things that will help prevent them from taking risks later, especially risks with substances. Key opportunities for parents at this stage include encouraging a positive self-esteem, strengthening brain development, growing a healthy body and mind, and communicating a clear message to your children about alcohol and drugs. Our first key opportunity is making sure that we help kids develop a positive sense of self. Kids with high self-esteem grow into healthy, productive people. There are countless ways that parents and caregivers can encourage or discourage a high self-esteem. Consider trying the following. Give kids choices and let them take reasonable risks. They'll learn more naturally how things result from their choices and actions, not yours. In addition, when a child considers a risky decision, she practices the process of decision-making in a matter of seconds. These aren't big risks, but rather things like jumping from a log to the ground or walking into the shallow end of the pool by themselves. Let them know that no one is perfect, and they'll probably stumble a whole lot along the way. In fact, the way that you react to their mistakes or disappointments colors the way they'll react and in turn think about themselves. Assign age-appropriate chores. It'll increase their feelings of mastery and strengthen their problem-solving skills. For example, setting the table for a meal or feeding the house pet are great beginner chores. And lastly, always make sure they feel special and unique. Teach them how to set goals and work towards them, and remind them how to get back up and try again. The second key opportunity is about positive brain development. The most important time for a child's brain development is in their first 5 years. How well the brain develops and how strong it becomes depends on a few things. First are the quality and frequency of positive activities. Children learn through engaging, doing, watching, and copying, so the more direct interaction, the better. In a little bit, we will discuss 5 simple activities you can do each day that'll help their brain grow strong. Second is learning self-control. That means teaching them to resolve conflicts, to set clear safety limits, and build healthy boundaries. Learning effective self-regulation now prevents exposure to potential risks later on. Next is a foundation of good nutrition, health, and exercise. Beyond eating well, being physically active, and getting enough sleep, it's just as important to have regular checkups with the doctor, to stay up to date with vaccines, and ensure a home environment that lowers exposure to health risks. And last, providing a loving and nurturing relationship will help children to thrive. This means providing consistent warmth and affection, holding them to age-appropriate expectations, fostering high self-esteem, and ensuring that there are stable rules and routines as they grow. We know that the foundation for a healthy life starts at birth, and that it involves everything from nutrition to sleep to teeth brushing. Empowering our children now to be healthy in body and mind will make it easier for them later to continue to practice healthy behaviors. It's not always easy to feed our kids the most nutritious foods all the time, and maybe not even some of the time. But take a look at this list of 10 foods that are what scientists recommend are the most needed for healthy brains. If you can try 1 or 2 or all 10, you're on the right track. The key is not to restrict food or use it as a reward, and try not to nag about unhealthy choices or label food as good or bad. Talk about how good you feel when eating some of these foods and how food nourishes the brain and body. Another aspect of reinforcing a healthy body and mind is to help kids learn about taking care of their body. Use teachable moments on how to respect and show care for their bodies. Encourage your kids to talk about how it feels to be healthy and discuss the limitations they experience when their bodies are not working well. Emphasize physical activity and getting enough sleep. Teach them disease prevention strategies like washing their hands and not sharing drinks with other kids. Lastly, nourish their curiosity for the body and its many functions. When it comes to engaging in positive activities on a routine basis, it's a lot easier than you might think. Here's 5 easy tips for strong and healthy development. 1. Talk with the TV or any screen turned off for 15 minutes a day. 2. Make sure to praise frequently and with specifics. 3. Read to them for 15 minutes a day. 4. Play on the floor for at least 10 minutes a day. And 5. Try to give 1 nutritious snack or meal a day, and as much as you can, model good eating habits yourself. The 4th key opportunity involves talking to them early and often regarding alcohol and drugs. The National Institute for Drug Abuse states that conversations about alcohol, tobacco, and drugs is not only possible at an early age, but is critical to their thinking and behavior later on. If you're not sure where to start, follow these simple guidelines. Use real opportunities to point out both poisonous substances in their world along with the proper use of medication. For example, if you give them a daily vitamin, talk about how it's a substance to help the body grow, and they should only take what an adult gives them. If you or someone else in the family takes medications, point out that they're stored safely in their bottles and they're only meant for the person who needs them. And remind your child that if they ever find a vitamin, pill, or something that looks like candy, to give it to an adult right away. It might look like candy, but it could be dangerous for their bodies. Explain the importance of taking good care of our bodies, about eating right, exercising, and getting a good night's sleep. As we said before, discuss how good you feel when you take care of yourself, and how you can run, jump, play, and work for many hours as a result. Help your child understand the difference between make-believe and real life. Ask your child what he or she thinks about a TV program, a commercial, or a story. What do they think is real and what is made up? Discuss how violence or bad decisions can hurt people. And last, make sure to clarify your views on substance use and your expectations, especially if you or others choose to use them. Be clear that it is an adult decision and under specific circumstances. Circumstances like at a meal, celebrating with friends, or gathering with adults. If your child asks for a sip of your drink, be sure to explain why they cannot have it, and that it's a poison for children of any age. If you are not clear now and consistently as they grow, they will learn by watching and may not learn all the facts and behaviors clearly. When it comes to kids and substance use, we can't gaze into a crystal ball to find out if our kids will face problems with drinking or drug use later in life. But you can determine if your child may be a greater risk for a substance use disorder if certain challenges appear early on. Pay careful attention if something seems off. Start taking action and find support. If the following things are challenges you're facing, start by asking for help from health professionals, teachers, school counselors, or a prevention specialist. Are there mental health or behavioral issues that need to be monitored and treated? Understanding how emotional or behavioral issues can trigger a substance use problem will greatly reduce their risk for developing one. Are there early academic issues and behavioral management challenges in the classroom? If so, seek support, as these issues could escalate when your child enters grade school if not addressed appropriately. Do they have issues with impulse control? Are they particularly vulnerable to risk-taking? For these kids, they may later have difficulty resisting impulses to use and experiment with substances. Has there been any early childhood trauma? For example, witnessing an accident, losing their home, being a victim of abuse, or losing a parent. And lastly, are there challenges with managing a stable home life? For example, is discipline hard to practice consistently? Are there variables that feel uncontrollable or chaotic? Do not feel ashamed for seeking support for any of these challenges. You are not alone, and early intervention will give them the best chance to succeed in all that they do. Here are some examples of expressions you can use to encourage a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that the most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. It is a mindset that creates a love of learning and is resilient to challenges. Take a look at this list and pick out a few that feel natural to you, or come up with your own. There are many opportunities to offer words that encourage them to be independent thinkers and lifelong problem solvers. Here are some helpful resources and online tools for parents. Visit our website for more information about what we covered today and to view our other parent trainings. You can also download and print these slides anytime. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about promoting healthy decision-making and behaviors in our children. We hope that you found this information useful, and we encourage you to check out our website and any of the links in this training for more information.